back to my channel. Today's video is not a makeup tutorial, it is going to get up close and personal with me in my life, and I just feel like I need to tell everybody about this because there are so many people who think their skin is bad and then I mean you can obviously fix it. They want to be, people who are fair want to be dark, people who are dark want to be fair, and like you don't like something about your face, people are getting plastic surgery. I mean, it's fine if you want to. I'm just saying, not for unnecessary reasons, like just because she's doing it, you don't have to do it. Only if you really want to do it, you do it. The point is, I'm just here to tell you that you should love yourself, and it's something that not everyone does. I mean, there are a million videos on YouTube, and there are like a million workshops held in the world to, you know, people have to come and tell you to love yourself. I mean, much as it's helpful, I don't think other people should be telling you how to love yourself, but I think you just need a push. Like, you know you need to love yourself, but you need someone to tell you that you have to do it. Like, it is necessary. You cannot just live your life thinking you want to be perfect, because no one's perfect. Even like makeup artists aren't perfect. No matter how much you think everyone looks so pretty on camera and you know we're so perfect on camera, we are not. We have like tons of shit to deal with. Okay, just a disclaimer, this is a little hard for me because it's a subject I don't really like to touch, but I feel like I should talk about it in terms of the fact that it actually pushed me into doing makeup and loving myself even more. So I think it's necessary for everyone to know, because I get asked a lot about this particular subject, and I just feel like if it's out there, it's a little easier, because I still get nightmares and I'm still scared. So I'm literally shaking like if you, okay, never mind. The story starts from last year, December, last year, December, exactly on Christmas Eve. So I was not in town, I was in Bangalore, and I used to live there earlier. Now my sister lives there, and I just went there to, like, you know, have fun on Christmas. And because my sister and I used to have a thing, you know, you sit, get cozy, watch TV, watch some Christmas movies, have cocoa and all of that. So that was my idea before I went to Bangalore, and a lot of my friends are there because I did my college and schooling, half my schooling and college there. So a lot of my friends are still living there, so obviously my best friend was there, and we all met, and well, you know, we were having fun, and you know, we went to a place and we got, but not so much. Yes, I'm giving a very bad example, but not so much, just so you know. Well, we were fine. I had to leave the place because I was gonna meet my cousin brother and he was coming over. So I was just like, oh my god, I need to leave. And I was just like, I didn't want to take public transport because it would take too long. And my friend was just like, I'll drop you. I said, okay, fine, you know, like, I mean, that's what we used to do all the time. Who would have thought that something would have, I mean, you can't tell when things go wrong, you know, like my sister always says. So yeah, we got on his bike and we left, and halfway through, not even halfway actually, we were still near the area where the restaurant was, and I fell unconscious on the bike, like on the ride. Well, I think I was really tired from the first 3 days because my sister and I were like up and about all day long, you know, shopping and walking and doing all of these things, and I really needed rest, which I didn't take. And I have no idea, like, I was feeling fine, I ate, I was just fine, but I don't know, for some weird reason I just went blank. Like, I felt like I wasn't in my body anymore for at least 5-10 minutes, and in that span of time I literally, like, I'm sitting on the bike and I tilt on a moving bike, just to tell you, I tilt and I scrape my face on the road. Yeah, I have no idea how long that went for, but I remember being very conscious while I was scraping my face on the road, and my friend had, like, he didn't even realize till he saw that I was totally on the ground, like I was on the road, like it's moving traffic. I'm so lucky that no one ran over me because it was moving traffic, and I fell, and my friend realized a couple of, like, after I fell totally off the bike, he realized later, and then he stopped, and then he came to get me, and I remember getting up, like I knew something had happened. I just wasn't in my senses. I knew something had happened, and I think this, I don't know what energy made me get up on my feet on the middle of the road with half my face bleeding. I walk to him, and he takes me across the street, and the first thing I'm worried about is my bag. Like, of course, my purse. I mean, I'm just like, what the fuck is my bag? Where the fuck is my phone? And apparently my phone had been smashed, but he still found it. And my bag was fine, and everyone was just like surrounding us, and you know, I was like in shock. I was just like, fucking hell, what has happened? And this is Christmas Eve, just so you know, 24th evening, and so I'm just standing there, and we got an auto, like we got the public transport to, like, because he didn't want to take me on the bike again, obviously, to the clinic. So we went to the nearest clinic there, and just to like get me cleaned up and shit. So we found an auto, we got in, and I kept crying, and my friend was like, he took his handkerchief out and he kept it on my face because it was bleeding so much, and he was just like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And we were just apologizing, and I'm crying my eyes out, and I don't know what to do because I know my face is screwed. I could feel my broken tooth, like it's still chipped, and I could feel my face bleeding. I mean, it was all over my jacket and everything. And then we got to the clinic, and I have no idea, I think I was still in shock or something. So I got out of the auto, and as much as I think I'm a superwoman, I think I should stop pretending to be, because dude, I let go of my friend's arm for a second thinking I would stand, and I just fell. I couldn't even stand. I fell straight on my face, and I like cracked the front tooth, but it's still there, but it's just cracked. You can see cracks. And I just fell, like I fell straight on my face, and then I could hear everyone screaming my name, and I was just like, what the hell is happening? Why can't I like keep myself together? And then they got me a wheelchair because obviously I couldn't walk. And yeah, they got me a wheelchair, they made me sit in it, and then they took me inside, and they like cleaned my wounds and everything. And well, my phone was screwed, so I called my parents from my friend's phone, and then I told my sister where I am and everything, and they asked us to go to Manipal hospital. They had to get me transferred to another hospital, so they called the ambulance and everything, which took forever to get there. And by that time they had like sort of cleaned my wound, not clean, they just kind of patted dry, and they, you know, put some gauze and like cotton and shit so it doesn't get infected or whatever. So the period where the ambulance was on its way, and I was waiting in the hospital, and my friend was talking to his dad on the phone, and my sister and her husband were on the way to that hospital, and there were my other two friends waiting next to me. One of them was crying her eyes out, and I was just like, dude, am I supposed to handle you or myself? Like, I'm the one with a fucked up face. I mean, you can't sit here and cry while I'm trying to deal with life situations. You know, I had a near-death experience, and you are crying. I mean, I know you're feeling bad and everything, but someone has to stay strong. And it was like, I had to stay strong, and I have no idea how I was doing it. Like, in my head, I was thinking, like, now that I think of it, I break down and cry, and I get nightmares. But at the time, I have no idea how I held myself together. Like, I was so sophisticated about it, and I was just like sitting there, and I was like, it's okay, it's okay. I mean, I could barely talk because like I tore my lip, and I was just like, no, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be fine. Actually, I think I was in shock. I was like in massive shock. I didn't even know what was happening. I was just wondering, how did this happen, you know? Like, I was fine when we left. And yeah, well, all that drama was going on, the ambulance was finally there, and then I was transferred to the other hospital. Then, you know, the whole wheelchair, the ward, and all of that much shit happened. And yeah, I was admitted there, then my sister came, and you know, all of that emotional jazz happened. And then they actually cleaned my wounds, and I was screaming my lungs out because they put this, I don't remember the name, betadine. and they put that like on your, oh my god, it burns, it burns like a bitch, and it was so painful. And imagine on my face. And yeah, they were trying to clean it, and I was just like, fuck, and I'm screaming in the hospital. I was like, ah, fuck. So yeah, that was not great, but they did that. And then I was scheduled for surgery next day. I had to get plastic surgery, yeah, surprise, because my face was literally gone. Like I said, can't you just like stitch it up, and it's gonna be okay. And the doctor was just like, no, you have to get plastic surgery. I was just like, are you gonna take muscle out of my ass and put it on my face? And she was just like, no, there is another way to do it. And I was just like, oh, thank God. But yeah, and then I was scheduled for surgery next day, and that happened. And I was in the hospital for I think 2-3 days, and then I got discharged. And I'm gonna put a picture of what I look like. I mean, I cannot believe I'm showing the world this, but I mean, how many of you watch? You're gonna be like, what the heck happened to you? So I look like this. And this, now I look like this, and it has been, say what, January, February, March. So what, 9 months? It has been 9 months since the accident. And I look like this, even though I have like a little bit scarring here and here, and my lips still screwed, and I have like stitches inside my mouth that are still getting better, and I got like a chipped tooth and like a cracked tooth. Getting to the point, when I was back home in Delhi, the whole time I was depressed, and I was just like, I wanted to be a makeup artist. How do I do that? How do I make videos with my face all screwed up, you know? How am I ever going to do that? How am I going to get better? What am I going to do with my life? And I couldn't sleep for days, like a whole month. I had like major insomnia because I was so stressed, and I was so, I don't know, I was just not myself. Obviously, for obvious reasons, I was not myself because I had literally broken down. I mean, I'm a very strong person. You can't break me down unless something really bad happens. And I broke down, and I was just like, what the hell am I gonna do with my life? And I think after a month or so, when I started getting better, I started hanging out with my friends a little. I spent out a little with a couple of patches that I still had on my face, and I started going out. People used to stare and everything, but you know what, being me, I was just like, I don't care if you're staring at me, I'm just going out. I cannot sit at home anymore. Like, you know, I would take all precautions that the doctor asked me to, because he said you can go out, but you need to be away from the sun. So I did all of that, and now I'm going to get to the actual part and tell you how to deal with your accident when everyone's asking you about it and you don't want to talk about it, but you have to because, well, and okay, so I think 3-4 months after the accident, I was fine. I was getting better, and you could still see my marks a lot, but well, I was okay with. I just used to go around telling, yeah, I met with an accident, and I don't want to talk about it, so just like leave it. Initially, people were a little concerned, actually a little over concerned, but they understood that I needed my space, and I didn't want anyone to ask me when I said, don't ask me, you know, I met with an accident, I don't really want to talk about it, and they would respect that, which is a good thing. But that was only in the initial stages for like a month or so, and they were just like, oh, okay, it's okay, you'll be fine, you still look pretty and everything, and then people were trying to boost my confidence and everything, which is really sweet of everyone who did that for me. I love you. But after a couple of months, it got really annoying because the same people who had asked me about my accident asked me the same thing after 2-3 months, and they're just like, what happened to your face? And I'm just like, I told you that I met with an accident. They said, oh, how did that happen? For a second in my head, I'm just like, I wonder, should I tell you, or does it even matter because you're gonna forget about it in the next 2 months? I mean, how does it matter? Even if I told you I went and banged my head somewhere, you're just gonna forget about it the next 2 days. And I chopped my arm, you're just gonna be like, oh, did you chop your arm 2 months ago? You're not gonna remember that. To deal with such questions, you have to actually deal with it yourself first. What I mean to say is you need to be able to deal with it better than other people, because if you don't deal with it, then you can't tell other people to deal with it. I mean, they are never going to get how you feel. They are never going to understand. They are not going to put themselves in your shoes and understand that it hurts to talk about it, and it is so like scarring to even like think about it. But you need to be able to deal with it because when you tell someone what happened, you need to be strong enough, and you need to tell yourself that you're strong enough to talk about it. If you've gone through it and you've survived, then you should be strong enough to talk about it, right? So yeah, so slowly in a couple of months, when people ask me like, what happened to you? I mean, what happened to your face? And I'm just like, I used to say, oh, I met with an accident a couple of months ago, and they'd be like, the nice people would be like, oh, I'm so sorry, but it's okay, I think it should be fine now. And I'd say, yeah, it'll be fine, a couple of months, a year, it'll be okay. And it would worse. And then they'd say, oh, that's okay, and then we'd move on. Then some of you, hey, what happened to your face? And I go like, I told you that 2 months ago, didn't I, that I met with an accident? They're like, what? I don't remember. I was just like, yeah, I told everyone, and you weren't there. And they're like, oh, what happened? I said, I don't really want to talk about it. I mean, it's nothing great. And it was just like, I mean, do you know how weird that look is when they're staring at you, like they're asking you to tell you without asking, and you're just standing there like, freak. What part of I don't want to talk about it do you not understand? Like, just leave me alone. But then sometimes I would actually get away with it. I'm just like, dude, chill the fuck out. Like, I don't really want to talk about it. I want to go there. And some would understand, and they'd just be a little, I think, inquisitive, still inquisitive. I mean, they'd ask me like 2-3 days again later. But, or I tell them myself, you know, I just needed time to talk about it. So I'm just saying that if you met with an accident that has threatened your career, you shouldn't stop being strong because something happened. You need to be stronger now. That gives you a reason to be stronger, because people are gonna ask, people are gonna talk. You are going to be bombarded with questions and worries and concerns, and you are just going to go mad with it, and you will have no idea how to deal with it unless you're strong enough to deal with it. Because if you get weak at that point, you are gone, okay? Like, you cannot deal with anything if you get weak at that point, because that is when your strength needs to be 100% to keep you rock hard for the rest of your life, if people ask you that. So it's been 9 months, and my scars are getting better because you can't really see my scars so much unless like in photos, or if someone's sitting really close to me and they're just like, oh, what happened? And I'm just like, whatever. Actually, so many of my friends have not even really noticed unless I've told them, which is quite awesome, because at least I know I'm getting somewhere. And one of my friends actually told me that my swollen lip looks kind of sexy. I was just like, oh, thank you. I'm just really happy to like talk about this openly because I just got this idea last night when I was doing some thinking, and I was just like, what do I make for a video? And I didn't want to do a makeup tutorial because I was just like, I don't know, for some weird reason I was just like, I don't want to do a makeup tutorial. I want to talk about life. I want to talk about what's going on with me. And I don't know how many of you are going to watch this, but whoever is watching this, I hope you know that being strong is not easy, and no matter what happens in life, you need to love yourself more than anything. I mean, love yourself and love your family. I mean, because they are going to be right next to you no matter what you've done, where you are, what you're going through. You and your family are going to be there. Not a third